This is our dirt cheap Honda Civic Type R.
It's been sat here because no one wanted to buy it and it's no longer road legal.
This 137,000 mile previously stolen Civic Type R was Edwin's car for a cheap hot hatch challenge. It was just under £2,000 and Edwin spent another £500 modifying and fixing it. Unfortunately, the horribly loud exhaust meant the car wasn't allowed on track, and since then its MOT has expired, making it no longer road legal. So we've got over £3,000 in parts to get it back up and running in preparation to give it away to one of you.
This car is not road legal at the moment. In the UK, you have to pass a test every single year to keep your car on the road, and this one's has expired. But it's not the end of the world because we can get it through one. The bare minimum that we need to fix: windscreen, crack in it, the exhaust, far too loud, the O2 sensors, broken. So those have to be done, but we're gonna go a bit further as well. Some coilovers, some brakes, some interior stuff. Get rid of the heart steering wheel. And then just a general little tart up to make this car go from a car that you'd hate to be seen in to one you'd go, nice little EP3.
I say we start removing things.
Understood, let's go. There we go, quick release bumper, nice.
So this headlight is fitted normally, factory you might say. A little bit wobbly, but it's fine. This one is bodged, and when I mean bodged, I mean bodged. That is a shoelace.
Someone said tie up your shoes and thought they meant a headlight.
There's a little clip that goes inside the crash bar there. That just doesn't have it, so they went, just do them out there, lovely.
Honda people are wild.
Impact gun with a chrome bit on. And then out comes the Diddy Bye.
Battery out, Will carried on tearing down the engine, removing the dusty and ripped old intake. I put a very big pod filter on it. There's one thing that's better than a pod filter.
Carbon fibre. A man who plays instruments will tell you better.
Yeah,
it's got that. That's a very nice air filter.
It is,
but the one we've got going on is just much nicer. Also, wow. Subscribe to TDC. Wow! This is an aftermarket strut brace by the boys. They help us out.
Coil pack time, which will be fun for my fingers, probably. It's a Delphi, it's not bad. There we go. This is gonna be my specialty. You know what's coming deep down.
We're wrinkling.
We're getting old and wrinkling.
Despite this car likely having been driven very hard throughout its life, everything looks great under the rocker cover, so we pulled the spark plugs to be sure. I'm gonna say he's a Bosch, and I reckon he's all right.
Ooh, okay. Let me go get a proper spark plug removal tool. An NGK, a little bit sooty, but fine, nothing too bad. A lot of our parts, including our spark plugs, which is the first thing we're gonna fit, are from Teardown. Teardown are quite well known for their Honda parts, especially their EP3 stuff. So we hit them up and said, what do you recommend? A carbon air intake, O2 sensors, a new steering wheel, and finally, the big boy.
Dun dun dun.
A exhaust that is track legal. Now, we're not sponsored by these guys. We did pay for these parts, but they gave us a discount. So thank you very much to Teardown. If you guys would like any parts for your Honda or most Japanese things, hit the link in the description to check them out and see what parts they have in stock ready to ship for your car. So you can see, same spark plug. Before and after. They did put the correct plugs in for this car. There's nothing too bad about it. If it was too black, you'd tell that the car was running with too much fuel. If it was too white and sooty, you could tell that it was too lean. But this looks fine. It's just a used spark plug. In the new one goes.
Before we go any further with the EP3, this is a quick reminder that if you're buying a used car, you should always run a car vertical check.
That's right, because every single day, hundreds of cars get stolen, and some of them get put back on the road in an attempt to hide their dodgy history. With a car vertical report though, you can find out that shady past.
All you have to do is enter your reg number or your VIN, and a car vertical report will tell you if that car has been crashed, stolen or clocked.
Now behind us is Ben's brand new daily, and somehow it's got green ticks for odometer, finance and damage. What it should have though is a yellow warning for being beige.
Now this Focus RS hasn't been so lucky because we do have a green tick for mileage, but we've got yellow marks for finance and damage. And if we scroll down, there are pictures of the damage, and it has been in a pretty big front end smash. There's bits of bodywork inside, and that's never ever a good sign. And if we come out of the photos and keep scrolling down past the mileage, this vehicle was marked as scrap. So this car should never ever go back on the road legally, but Some people do try to do that with new number plates, new VIN numbers. So if you ever see this car for sale with a car vertical report, you can find out this dodgy past.
So if you're ever buying a car, van or motorbike, don't take any advice from us other than to run a car vertical report to make sure that the price you pay for it matches its history.
And as an added bonus, Car Vertical are offering you guys 20% off when you use code TDC.
My next job was to sand down and prep our old valve cover ready for some fresh paint.
And all that cleaning had gotten Edwin massively distracted. Why?
The whole point of this video is to rejuvenate this car.
It is better, but also, you know, we are putting the bumper back on. With that realization, Edwin changed absolutely nothing about what he was doing. So I used the time to make some mechanical progress. So we got some other parts from Teardown, which is some O2 sensors. Now, Edwin, you did replace this one.
Correct. I had an engine light, I replaced it, that fixed it.
But we're going to replace that one anyway, but we're also going to replace the one before the cat.
Because we have another check engine light.
Please.
Is it not working, bud?
It's not going, man.
Right, you know the deal.
See you later. There we go. It's slow, but it's common. Right, that is two O2 sensors out.
With the old O2 sensors out and the new ones in, we moved on to our next mission, installing the shiny new exhaust.
So the reason why we are changing this exhaust, despite it looking cool, that is a can of Japan. T-shirts are available in our shop among many other cool designs. It's so loud, there's people crying when we start it up, it's not good, and also it didn't get on track. We've got a much nicer exhaust to go on, so we need to take this rusty old thing off. What's actually really nice about this system is one of the previous owners has fitted it with 3 different types of bolts.
It's like a security wheel nut, so nobody steals your exhaust. You're inside that Civic right now.
I'm all up in its junk right now. There we go. Look at the scuff marks on the bottom. Someone has somehow, with a stock ride height Civic, been clattering speed bumps.
That's a 70-mile-an-hour speed bump hit.
First section of new exhaust is coming off. Woo! Yeah. This is 4-track. This will get onto any track in the UK. Also, we did get some comments in the last video that said, how can there be noise limits at track? I agree. It makes no sense, but rules are rules.
As Will was busy fitting the lovely new exhaust, I had a chance to paint the valve cover.
I am no professional painter, I'm an idiot. But I've had good results in doing 3 thick coats of this, so we're going to see if that works. Right, I've done a few coats. It's not coming out that nicely. There's something at the back. I think there may be still some oil on it. My mistake. But we'll hit it with the heat gun, see what happens, see if it comes back. Enjoy this horrible creation. I'm soul destroyed by this. I love having nice engine bay parts, and this looks horrible. I don't know what happened.
With that genuinely horrific attempt, I abandoned the valve cover for now and helped Will with the exhaust.
Ooh. You can't call this a can of Japan. This is a can of racing.
That's a nice can of legal.
Dun, 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 dun. That's quiet. Right, in it goes. Ooh, purposeful.
Very nice.
That is purposeful.
Very nice, it's clean. New exhaust in, we moved on to the fresh brake pads.
Right, I wanted to make myself feel better after that horrible job that I did on the valve cover, so we're going to install some proper brake pads. This car is going to go on track, that's the end goal, so we want some proper track pads, because these, as good as they are, they're road pads. These are EBC Blue Stuff pads, they're really good, fast road track pad. Thank you very much to EBC for sending these out. They helped us on the 911, and those didn't kill us on the track, despite our best efforts, right, Will?
Absolutely, they were pretty good.
So if I can rely on them allowing me to not end up killing myself, I'll rely on them again.
New pads in, there was something very important to fix in the interior. Next order of business, while we wait for other bits, is to get rid of the steering wheel. Now, I did buy this for Edwin because it was funny, but I have to admit it's awful. We've got a very good replacement. We bought this from Teardown. That is a Nardi Personal Suede, but that is going to look so much better. And also, it's a nice size.
That's real Honda hours.
This is proper Honda. Well, NRG or...
Oh, yeah, true. Yeah,
but
this is grown-up Honda hours.
Yeah, this is... I've now got a brain Honda hours.
With the much more grown-up new steering wheel in, it was time to service the Civic. So we drained the sump and filled it with some fresh oil.
This is great because there's no valve cover. I'm taking the valve cover away to get properly done. I will admit my mistake. So the valve cover will be coverless for a minute.
Anywhere but the spark plugs?
That would be lovely if you could do that. Look at that. Look at him go. It's like olive oil on bread.
We then moved on to tackling the EP3's coolant leak. So one of the hidden problems on the Civic is a very small coolant leak. I knew about this when I bought the car. There's a piece of pipe here, and someone's just fixed it with some sort of electrical tape there. It was obviously got a sort of pinhole leak.
The seller told you about this when you went to buy it?
Yeah, he just pointed it out as well. He went, oh, can you just see that pipe down there? And he said, yeah, that's the reason for all the coolant.
And you went, I won't then tell Edwin.
Hey, coolant.
There you go, Will. Ooh. It's not leaking coolant though, Will, don't worry about it.
Just like they do at Honda. So this needs to come out so I can get to that pipe, but also, we don't need that. That's part of the original airbox. It's not really doing much either at the moment. We've got something cool going in there. There we go. Odd shape. Sorry, buddy. Just stay strong. Just don't bleed. She's gonna live.
Good stuff, Will.
There we go. One fix.
And with one fix came another, in the form of the cracked windscreen. We rung up our friend Mark from Reading Autoglaze, who came down and installed a shiny new windscreen, just like he had done when we fixed our old Porsche 911.
And with that looking pristine, it was time for some more new parts. Okay, so we've been working away on the Civic and we spotted another issue. If you look in there, that bush is trying to depart from its house and it can't do that. We're not gonna let it happen, so we need to take him out. That bush is probably one of the reasons why this car feels so loose. And this is what it should look like. Not leaving, not coming out, not split and cracked and nasty. These are blueprint parts, so this is OE matching stuff, so this should be absolutely perfect fit, and we're gonna replace both of them.
Went to go and put a socket on the ball joint on the bottom, just rounded instantly, even though it was the correct size. So I've hammered a smaller size on, and now I need everyone to please pray together. Oh! That was the difference between us making it to the track and not making it to the track.
So the blueprint arms are all in. We've also had to do some new drop links as well because the old ones were buggered. This is gonna feel as fresh as the day it rolled out of the factory. What the
Hello, I'm back. I saw a nice car parking space and thought, why not? Sorry, yeah, look, actually, let me back out. I'll show you what I brought. Look at this, Will. You know, I went home and I did it myself again.
Yes,
I did this.
It's just a lie.
It's absolutely a lie. There's a really nice guy called Roy. We paid him, by the way. This isn't a sponsored shout or anything. He just did a really nice job on this. So shouting him out. Roy's Vapor Blasting in Basingstoke. That's OEM. Let's get it on. We can put our engine back together now. Right, before we can put this on, we have to change the valve cover gasket. This is one of the most overlooked bit of basic maintenance that everyone forgets to do. Not us. You'd never not do it, right, Will? I mean, we do it all the time.
Yeah.
If you don't change this, this gets brittle and hard over time, and oil that's splashing around inside this guy starts to leak out the edge. And if you look on our engine, that is all oil that has weeped out of the top of the valve cover and fallen down the back of the engine, burns oil, stinks, and you lose oil. So this couple pound part that you can change very easily will stop that happening. We're getting through our parts haul from Blueprint. They have also sent us new coils. This is what chooses the electricity to send to the spark plug. You can't just make a spark out of nowhere. You need some electricity to fire at the right moment to be controlled. A lot of cars, you will have a single pack that sends 4 with some leads. Or you have this, which is called coil on plug, because the coil is on the plug.
Whoa.
So hard to understand. It's a bit more accurate when you're with higher performance cars. Most of them will use coil on plug setups.
With me busy installing the new coils, Will was hard at work putting together our shiny new carbon intake.
I'm currently building the car's new induction kit intake system, how it sucks the air in. We can't use the original one.
That's on our Memento wall.
This is the one Edwin replaced with. It was a temporary measure, and also it's the original pipe. Someone else wants this now, so it was kind of already stolen in a way.
Yeah, it was kind of borrowed.
So we are putting on this. I've just put together most of it. So the filter is actually in there. Where's the air coming from, I hear you say? So this is gonna go like so.
But Will, part of the scuttle panel's in the way.
It is in the way, so that is why I'm about to get some sharp tools out, because this Tegua induction kit comes with this little scoop. This scoop is going to sit like so and funnel air into that induction kit, so that is a nice closed system.
Imagine if you had a funnel to cold air and you're just going, ooh.
It's just so nice. It's not that bad, but it's not great. For whatever reason, I made a line there, but I've already made my holes. They're here, so I need to make my line here. It's not the end of the world, because I actually haven't cut all the way through this. It's just not very pleasant.
All the work we're doing to make this car nice again.
Putting on an expensive intake, but you've got a cheap human doing it. Now we're fixing up our Civic Type R, we want one of you to win it. We've collaborated with LLF Games to put the Type R up for grabs. Tickets will be less than 20p each, and the winner will be chosen on Sunday, September 15th. So get your tickets now.
Now on his second attempt to cut a hole in a simple piece of plastic, Will tried again, and this time he actually did it in the right place.
We're turning a new leaf with this car. We're going the extra mile.
So it is. I think we actually quite like it.
This car kind of represents my feeling of cars. I like taking a really shit one and just over time, just chipping away at it. It's never going to be good. If you look down the side of this car, it's covered in dents, it's covered in filler. This car doesn't deserve love, but kind of nice to give it some.
100%. If this car was sold to anyone else, the engine's coming out, going in something else. Or it's becoming a track car, but when I say track car, I mean like it's getting abused. Everything's coming out of the interior. It's going to get blitzed around a track till it blows up and then it'll get thrown away.
Whereas now, it could become kind of a nice track base for someone.
So it's fully assembled. We've got the scoop in, we've got other bits in. We've had to fabricate some pipes because some of the original ones are a little bit, well, they were mashed. New intake in, it was time for another fix. So one of the things we did have with this car was an engine light, but it wasn't for anything to do with O2 sensors. This is the IAT sensor, which basically just measures the temperature coming into the engine, basically. But it's been unplugged. So I'm hoping putting this back in is going to solve our woes. We'll clear an engine light, and we'll be back to brand new again. But unfortunately, plugging that back in did not clear the engine warning light. So we trailered the Civic down to Adam at Evolution Auto Works, who is a K20 expert, to see if he could work out what the issue was.
Right, so we're down at Evolution Auto Works with Adam, who helped us set up the Porsche 911, but he is a K20 master. So we've trailered the Civic down here because it's still got check engine light, which means it will not pass its MOT. Previously, we dynoed this car and it was down on power and was really flat through the rev range. So we've looked online and checked the codes, and it mentions something about a TPS, which is your throttle position sensor. So it basically senses that when you're not on the throttle, your plate is closed for your engine. When you stamp on the accelerator, it's open and tells the degrees to tell the engine how much fuel to give. And if that starts to fail, the car doesn't know what fuel and what spark to give it. So if we replace it, we might get some horsepower back, which that'd be nice, Will.
After going over the engine, Adam confirmed that the throttle position sensor was in fact the issue, so we had that replaced, which finally cleared our check engine light.
The standard dampers on this car are horrible. We contacted BC and they said, absolutely, let's get the CP3 going nicely. Woo! Because we don't know who's going to win this car yet, and we don't know if they want a track car or they want to turn it into a road car, we've gone with the standard spring rates, quite soft. If you decide I want to track this car and go a bit harder, you can order just stiffer springs with higher rates from BC, which will allow you to turn it into a bit more of an aggressive track car. So it's up to whoever wins this car. We run these on basically all of our cars. I've personally bought multiple sets of BCs. I genuinely really like them. So hit the link in the description if you want to check out BC, grab a set of coilovers for your car if you need them. Let's stick them in, get this car sitting nicely. In really nice condition. Maybe we need to replace a tie rod end. Luckily we had one in the car when we first bought it, so in that goes.
Yes, my son.
There we go. Woo! Look at that.
I need a third arm!
There he is.
Look at all of this nice new stuff. We've got a new coilover, new caliper, we've got a new lower arm. Now, one thing that's letting it down though, that's not very happy. That is a very broken ball joint. We can't have that. We've just spent some time trying to get it out. It won't come out. It's gonna come out.
With the shiny new tie rod end installed, the front coilovers were in. So we got the rears in and moved on to our very last mod before the MOT. Next mod is some tyres. Now yes, the old tyres, well they're not really old actually, they've probably done 100 miles. These Accelera 651s are sort of a mix between road and track, whereas these Armstrong Blue Tracks are proper track tyres. And we really wanted to try these out on this car because we want to make it more of a track car. These are now fitted on the wheels, but as you can see, there's a bit of a difference. We've gone for a little bit wider, only 10 mil, but that also means the sidewall is a little bit thicker as well. We like a meaty sidewall here at TDC. If you've got stretch tyres, get out of here. If you've got rubber band tyres, get out. We want this level of chunk on our tyre. It'll rub. Rubbing is racing. Right, coilovers are on. So now,
The best moment.
ooh.
Oh, that front's nice.
Front is nice, the rear's quite high, but that's probably a good thing. And the standard thing people say after fitting coilovers, that'll settle, mate. Don't worry about it, that'll settle, that'll come down. Give it a couple of years or something and by the time, you'll be slammed, mate. Don't worry about it.
That'll settle. Well, Will, we got to go for the MOT. Let's go.
And it passed.
It is here.
We've done all of the mods, fixed everything. We've got new exhaust, new intake, O2 sensors, engine
more
light is
codes.
gone. It is absolutely, well, it's not perfect.
It's not a good car. It's not a good car, but it's here. We passed the MOT on Thursday, very late in the evening. We were then filming on Friday and Saturday, so it was its only chance to pass, and it did it. It's here. We drove it down to Silverstone, and it's going to go on track.
Yep. In about an hour or so, we need to go on track. You're driving at Silverstone, seeing as you didn't get to before, and we'll see if it lives through that. Here we go.
We're going out. This Civic that was lined up to potentially die is going on to Silverstone, the track that F1 drivers race on. Now, because of how tight the timings were, we haven't even had a chance to properly set up the suspension, so we're rubbing quite a bit right now. Also, both of us are quite fat, so that's the other reason. We're going!
There we go, VTEC.
Can I interest you in perhaps a rev limiter off the straight?
Lovely.
We got it.
Just what we were looking for.
The Civic's back!
Lovely.
Oh, the VTEC sounds great with the new intake. I'll tell you what though, the brakes, they're quite impressive.
Yeah, whoa!
I will have this Fiesta. The age-old question of Civic versus Fiesta. Come on.
He's pulling away.
Come on.
I've only been overtaken 17 times.
Come on, Fiesta. I'm going to have you at some point. Just got to give it a couple rev limiter bashes. I forgot something.
And now we'll start catching them.
Now we're going. Yes, bro!
140, 160.
One Civic.
Here we go.
This could be it. We're doing it.
See ya.
Yes! Oh, this car's good. It's back. Right, we're going to outbrake the Corolla. Come on.
Very fast.
Oh, the intake is amazing. It's such a good noise. I've got in early. Go on.
Go on.
Go on, Civic.
There
Yes!
we go. We've done.
That's
three or
it.
four
That's
overtakes.
all the people we wanted to get past.
We are done. You can win this car for probably less than 20p. The link will be in the description. Thank you for watching, and if you want to see where we bought this car and another cheap Focus, you can watch that here, and we'll see you next week.
See you next week.